It's such a shame that the conversation regarding Michael Jackson's life has so little to do with music. Honestly, when you search Michael Jackson, you get a bunch of interviews about the child abuse allegations, his physical change, whether or not he bleached his skin because he didn't want to be black anymore.
This is the situation. I have a skin disorder that destroys the pigmentation of the skin. It's something that I cannot help.
And it sucks, we wasted so many years with one of the greatest songwriters, performers, and entertainers of all time simply because people were more interested in his private life. The man released the best-selling album of all time. You would think that there's hour-long interviews about the making of that album and what made him change from the Motown era to disco and then pop music. But no, every single time he was in front of the camera it was always about the same thing. If you want to know anything about how Thriller was made, you're better off with a Quincy Jones interview. And the sad thing is, after a while it wasn't even the interviewers. I don't know if Michael had been traumatized by the millions of private questions he was forced to answer, but even if the interviewer was genuinely interested in the creative process of his work, he would give a very simple and almost dismissive answer. He didn't want to be there. The Oprah interview is the best example of this. He does talk about music at one point, but most of the interview feels like Thanksgiving dinner after an election. Now that the biopic is coming out and people are going to go back to Michael, please try and focus on the music. This is one of the greatest musicians that ever lived. Even if you didn't like him as a person, it's undeniable that the world of music wouldn't be the same without him. So go ahead, play a few albums and enjoy the music of the greatest entertainer in the history of music.
And fair, what they put me through, because there wasn't one piece of information that says I did that in any way.